They'll say if you've got insulin resistance, it's all about keeping your sugars down. But again, this is surface level. If you've got insulin resistance, it's going to cause high blood sugar. So if you're then taking medication like a diabetes medication such as metformin, which is going to lower your blood sugar, what about the insulin resistance though? That's still going on. Your blood sugar might be low, but your insulin resistance is still there. So actually looking at reasons why you might be insulin resistant in the first place. One of the big reasons... Hey beautiful, welcome to today's video, which is episode 2 of my PCOS Life Mastery. And today's episode is all about rethinking PCOS weight loss. Now, I know this from speaking to so many of you that weight is a very, very common issue when it comes to healing PCOS. And I think it's safe to say it's not dealt with very well in the help that we're given and the information that we're given. So when I was first diagnosed, which was when I was 18, almost 19, I, at the time, had actually gone up like 3 dress sizes in just a number of months. So though it's never been a major issue for me compared to my other symptoms, I could see from that how rapidly things could get out of control had I not quickly made some changes. So though we may not have the same story, I definitely know what it's like to have body image issues. I have a history of eating disorders. I know what it's like to not know how to eat properly. I know what it's like to not like who I saw in the mirror. I know what it's like to feel like your body is an enemy. So if that's how you're feeling right now, then hopefully you can find some really good information in this video. So I'm going to start off with a major misconception of how weight is the most important thing when it comes to PCOS. Whatever end of the spectrum you're on, statistically in women with PCOS, 80% are overweight and 20% are either normal weight or underweight. So regardless of where you are there, you've probably been frustrated by the topic of weight brought up in the doctor's office. Maybe you haven't, maybe you've had a really great experience, but for me, being of the normal weight category, I've had to deal with several doctors. Like, I've lost count of how many doctors basically just said, oh, you know, you're not overweight, so basically it's not an issue, completely dismissing all my other symptoms that I was battling at the time. So being told you're not overweight, therefore it's okay, is not the best thing to hear when you're dealing with all of these other symptoms. And on the other side of that, I know from speaking to so many of you who are part of the 80% that do struggle with weight, I know how disheartening it can be when you're not given help and you're just told, come back when you've lost weight, or I'll help you when you've lost weight, or you can go on this medication when you've lost a stone, or if you lose a stone then you'll probably get your period back and you'll probably get pregnant. You know, this is a narrative that is heard throughout. So being told to just lose weight when you've got a hormonal imbalance, or another reason as to why you're struggling to lose weight, addressing just this surface level symptom is just not the best way to approach it. So firstly, I think it's really important to actually understand what a symptom is. So with excess weight being a symptom, this symptom has got a deeper root cause. Unlike we're so often taught to believe, the symptom is not the problem. The symptom is our body's way of healing the problem. The symptom is our body reacting to a deeper root cause, resulting in this surface level symptom, such as any of the range of PCOS symptoms, whether it's weight gain, hair loss, acne, you name it. None of these symptoms are the problem. All of these stem from a deeper rooted imbalance. So addressing any of these just on the outside is not going to get to the actual reason why it's happening. So only until we can actually figure that out are we going to get these long-term healing results and long-term wellness. So firstly, just knowing that the symptom, this weight gain that you're dealing with, is not the enemy. This is your body doing its best to cope in whatever situation it's actually in right now. So just take a moment to acknowledge that and just send some love to your body, because your body is doing its very best. Your body is not the enemy. Your body is always going to try and keep you in the healthiest, best state possible. But sometimes we need to give it help to do that. Sometimes we need to address problems bigger than our body can just dissolve out of nowhere. You know, if we're dealing with some really deep-rooted trauma from the past, eating a healthy meal and fueling our body in that way isn't going to release this deep emotional trauma that we've got locked within us, so it is important. So I think trying to find that deep understanding of where our beliefs about our body actually come from, and that relationship with our body, you know, has it been broken over the years? Has dealing with PCOS or hormonal imbalance or weight issues, has this caused you to disconnect from your body? Because if it has, then that is going to put such a roadblock in the way of your healing and of this weight loss journey of yours. Because really, it's not about the weight. The weight will come off once you find that balance within yourself. And we are all different shapes and sizes. You know, one woman's healthy weight is going to be completely different to another woman's healthy weight. So it's not about comparing. It's about aiming for that healthy state yourself individually. What does that look like? What does that feel like? I think we all get taught to focus so much on how we look and how we are perceived in society and how other people look, and comparing ourselves to other people and placing our worth on how we look in the body, that we actually neglect how we feel. And really, what's more important than how we actually feel? You know, while we're on this precious journey of life, in the grand scheme of things, how we look, does that really matter as much as how we feel? No, of course it doesn't. Your wellness and looking after yourself and making sure that you feel good every day should be the top priority. And I promise you, once you find that path and that journey, and when you find those parts of your life to adjust that will bring you that balance, then your healthy weight will follow. So I think right now, if you're feeling stuck on your journey, forget about the weight, okay? Forget about the diet, forget about the exercise, and actually look at your relationship with yourself. If you're diving straight into a diet plan or a workout plan and you're still stuck in this program of self-loathing, then that is just not sustainable long term. I always love to use this example with people. Imagine you've got a best friend and an enemy, right? So for your best friend, you love them, you love giving them gifts, you love doing nice things for them, and you love making them happy. Whereas your enemy, on the other hand, doing like favors for them and just being overly nice to them and doing nice things to them will probably feel a little bit uncomfortable, probably won't feel very natural, and it probably won't be something that you want to keep up long term. So this is the issue that most people face when starting on a weight loss journey, is they're starting from their body as the enemy as opposed to their body as their best friend. So if your body is an enemy, you're working out for what? Because you hate your body? That's not going to work. If you're eating a salad to punish yourself because you don't deserve that delicious meal, that's not going to work either. You know, even just that negative energy towards doing these things is actually just going to put your body into this stress mode, which could even be creating this response of holding on to excess weight. You know, high levels of cortisol, for an example, are known to make it really, really hard to shift weight. If you can't adjust your stress levels, then losing weight can be really difficult. So actually approaching things from, right, I hate my body, therefore I'm going to work out all the time, and I hate my body, therefore I'm going to do this really restricted diet and just basically suffer until I can actually like who I see in the mirror. If we're approaching it that way, it just doesn't make sense. You know, it doesn't make sense. So if we can just forget about the diet and forget about the workout, just push it to the side for now. And if you can instead focus every single day on a practice of reconnecting with your body, reconnecting with what really matters, reconnecting with your true value and your worth, which does not fluctuate depending on the number on the scales. You know, reconnecting to all of this stuff and actually just building back this relationship that naturally we all have. You know, it's society that's changed this. It's external conditioning, it's diet culture, it's, I don't know, maybe a nasty friend or somebody in your life that's basically put you down too many times and you've absorbed that into your beliefs yourself. Us in ourselves, we don't hate ourselves. Our natural state is absolute love for this incredible vessel that we're blessed to be walking around this earth, you know, keeping our soul safe, making us be able to feel and touch and enjoy and eat and, you know, do all of this beautiful stuff that is so wonderful about being a human. We wouldn't be able to do this without these incredible bodies of ours. So all this external conditioning of we're not worthy and we're ugly and we're whatever horrible words that you hear either in your internal dialogue or you say about yourself out loud or you hear other people say, all of this stuff is external. It's not real. It's not true. It does not belong to you. So really just going through the process of unlearning this stuff and getting back to your truth, getting back to who you truly are and making friends with yourself, you know, getting back best friends with this beautiful body of yours. That is going to be the best starting point on any health journey, on any weight loss journey. You know, we always do it the wrong way around, and this is why it doesn't last. This is what keeps people in this perpetual cycle of diet culture And they make it so easy to do that because it is such a highly profiting industry. We need to realize that it really, really is. We're being influenced all around us, you know, from ads on the TV to celebrities to social media influencers. All of these people are being paid to make us feel like we need to look a certain way, to buy a certain thing, to feel worthy. So if you feel this way about yourself, it's not your fault. You are just surrounded by this conditioning, but from now you can decide to detach from it, to step back, to actually spend some time every single day committing to rebuilding that relationship with yourself. And from that place, you will find the most incredible healing. From that place, you will be able to get your health to a place that you want it. You know, exercise is so important, but we always exercise to lose weight as opposed to exercising for all the benefits that it does for our body, mentally and physically. Some of the main reasons that I exercise are for things like lymphatic drainage, you know, really getting my systems moving and, you know, releasing old stagnant energy, releasing negative energy. If I've been feeling kind of crappy, then I know that kind of shaking it out and dancing it out and working out and lifting weights, whatever it is that my body feels called to do, that is going to make me feel so much better. I don't actually tell myself or plan what workouts I'm going to do. I actually let my body decide on the day, you know, what do I need today? Some days I want to do yoga and stretch and just release anything that's been tight. And other days I need to work up a sweat and really shake it out. Sometimes I need to lift weights and feel strong. And sometimes I just need to lay on my yoga mat and just spend some time, some quiet time, you know? It's not about punishing yourself. It's not about powering through and ignoring how you're feeling and just going for it, you know? If that works for you, then fine, but sometimes we just need to bring this kind of softness and this compassion back to ourselves if we want to truly heal and make a difference for our health long term. Some more misconceptions are diet itself. You know, I'm sure you've come across in the PCOS community, give up dairy, give up gluten, and then all your problems will be solved. I would recommend anyone to give up dairy. Gluten, I mean, it's really dependent on the individual, and I think you really need to just take note of how you're feeling. Like, I tend to eat really clean whole foods, but I love to make my own bread, so I often make like organic spelt soda bread, for an example, and I feel good when I eat that. It doesn't disrupt my symptoms, though it might for you. So it's really just about finding that balance, but also knowing that it's not that simple, that just taking one food out is going to completely change your health. It's about a mixture of things, you know, and really just creating this healthy daily practice and eating from a place of love, you know, eating delicious foods, eating medicinal foods. You know, there are so many incredible fruits and vegetables that we can eat every day that make us just feel so good, and you can eat them in a way that is not boring, that is so delicious. Personally, I eat plant-based because, well, for many reasons, but in terms of PCOS, there is a lot of science behind things like insulin resistance being linked to eating animal fats. So instead of being focused on keeping sugar down, which is what the doctors will say, they'll say if you've got insulin resistance, it's all about keeping your sugars down. But again, this is surface level. If you've got insulin resistance, it's going to cause high blood sugar. So if you're then taking medication like a diabetes medication such as metformin, which is going to lower your blood sugar, what about the insulin resistance though? That's still going on. Your blood sugar might be low, but your insulin resistance is still there. So actually looking at reasons why you might be insulin resistant in the first place. One of the big reasons is linked to eating animal fats. Some incredible books to read if you're interested is The China Study and also How Not to Die. They are two incredible books. I'd absolutely recommend anyone to read them. But this just shows the major kind of neglect in terms of our long-term healing that we're actually given and that we're actually taught about. You know, if we're only ever getting to the surface level symptoms, then we're never going to heal the root long term. And that's what we want, isn't it? To be well, to be healthy, to get our life back, to get our power back, and to actually just feel good every day, because that's what we deserve. So instead of calorie counting, cut out overly processed foods. Whole food, plant-based is a great one for anyone that's trying to figure out the best way to eat. Whether you keep it up long term or not, just give it a try, see how you feel. Supplements are another great addition, you know, good quality supplements, adding in some medicinal foods, some medicinal herbs. Taking care of your gut microbiome is so important. Eating enough fiber is so important, and it's not just to help you poop. Fiber is honestly probably the most important. It's more important than protein. It's more important than all of these major food groups that we're taught about. We're just rarely ever taught about fiber, and fiber is actually what the gut microbiome eat. It's what they feed off of, and those gut microbiome are the ones that create these little chemical factories within our body that actually influences every single one of our systems. The gut microbiome plays the biggest role in our whole body, and yet we're rarely ever taught how to have a healthy gut. Even in terms of mental health, as an example, 90% of our serotonin, happy hormone, is made in the gut. Yet if you go to the doctors with depression, they'll probably just put you straight on antidepressants and not even bother to look at addressing your gut health or your diet. 10% is made in the brain, 90% is made in the gut. Think about it. Once you can view diet in this way, and once you can view your body in this way, and taking on this responsibility for yourself is the most freeing thing ever. Focusing on health, focusing on feeling good, that is the recipe to long-term healthy weight, whatever that means for you. Whether you want to gain weight or lose weight or maintain weight, health should be the number one goal always. So I really hope this video was helpful. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on these future episodes, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.